phone with a potential student here, and he said, Tom, thank you. You saved me from Pace Morby. He goes, something doesn't feel right. And I do believe Pace is a fake. He's told had very many inconsistencies. Go look up his bunny story. Depending on who he tells the story to, it's a different story. $100,000 discrepancy. But anyways, forget about Pace. All fake gurus, they have this in common. They don't really like to talk about their history. They're always very, very vague. So I try to exploit this because I want people to make the right decision, whether it's me or somebody else, because it's too important. You don't want to lose your best chance to make money in your youth. The worst thing you can do is squander your youth on chasing bullshit. And that's what a lot of these fake gurus do, is they have you chasing something that isn't going to happen. They make things sound much easier than they are. They make things sound like there's a world that doesn't even exist. They try to make you think it's a big go-given, everybody help everybody, community, make your best friends, all this horseshit. It's not how it is. It's a hunt. You don't tell people, think about a pirate looking for gold. Does he share the treasure map? No, you keep that tight to your vest. And the people that are in with you, make sure that, you know what I mean, you got the ability to stop them if they try to cross you. That's the real world. That's the real world. And so, and listen, Pace Morby students, look, I know you guys are not even allowed to speak out. There's a no negativity. I've heard this from multiple Pace Morby students. They say, I'm afraid to say I'm unhappy because Pace doesn't like negativity. If you say anything negative, like you're unhappy with the course, you could be cut out. So they're afraid of losing what little they got. So it's kind of sad, but it's genius. It's genius on the part of having people keep their mouths shut if they are unhappy. But anyways, let's talk about some real estate stuff. See that house right there? That was the second house I bought in this neighborhood, okay? I bought that, what did I pay? I think, I don't know, $205, sold it for $270. And I bought, there's three more behind me that I bought. Same neighborhood. This is what real estate investors can do. They want to show you the properties that they bought. They want to demonstrate that they know what they're doing. And so I just want to give you, as a guideline, next time you talk to a salesman, whether it's one of Pace Morby's guys or somebody else, you need to ask questions, good questions, right? Good questions like, can you show me the properties that this fake guru or that this guru has purchased before he was selling courses, right? You can do this with Cody Sperber, do it with Grant Cardone, do it with Pace Morby, Jerry Norton, and I got a feeling you're not going to come up with very much. You're not going to come up with much, so I'm going to show you some more, because I just pulled on another street in the same neighborhood, right? So look, this property here, this here, I bought that for $225. It was worth about $300. Guess what? I sold it. Now it's worth $450. I sold that to my girlfriend's son, right? I made him a deal, and that's one of the best things about real estate. You're able to make deals and help your friends and family. So that was a given. And so he's going to make $100,000 or a couple $100,000 on that one by now. It's a couple years ago. Here's another one. I'm going to show you another one. This is 2 doors down from that house. This place here, right here. I bought this one right here. Same neighborhood. I bought that for, God, what did I pay? I paid $229. $229 for that. It was really nice. It was really nice. And I think I know that guy. But so listen, this is what you do when you're gonna go out there and talk to people. If you're gonna contemplate giving somebody thousands of dollars for their expertise, make them show that they have expertise. In other words, show me what you bought. Show me how you became a millionaire before you started selling courses, because a lot of these guys, they didn't do anything. They made next to nothing. And so then they go in and they pretend to be somebody they're not. Then they start selling courses, and maybe they make $1 million selling courses, and then they buy some real estate. They don't even have to buy good deals. They just buy some real estate to say, yeah, look, I own this, and look, I own this. But they didn't get a deal on it, and they bought it with course money. World of difference, folks. Look at another street here. This is actually the street I started on, but I want you to see this because this was behind me when we started. Okay, this house right here. Yeah, this is one right here. That one I bought I bought that for 300, sold it for 420. This one I still own. One of my managers lives in that one. This one I bought for 205. It's worth about 420, something like that right now. And I was talking about this earlier, and I got a bunch of other houses in here. In fact, I put 2 of my daughters in this neighborhood, and they got their homes for half of what the market is. And again, this is some of the stuff. Hey, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, ask some tough questions. If you think I'm full of shit, ask some tough questions, because that's what people don't do. Listen, you go to a seminar, you go to a webinar, ask questions. That's what fake gurus don't want. And that's why when you see a fake guru, typically they have salesmen answering the phone, because they don't want you to ask a question like, show me what you made. Show me the money. Show me a student that's made money. You know what I mean? They don't have it. In fact, if you look at their testimonials, you'll find that most of their testimonials are completely hollow on some of these. I go to Pace Morby. He's got 90 minutes of testimonials. I couldn't find $1 made. But if you look at it, I think somebody said, oh, we went in on a strangers. I can't imagine a bigger nightmare. But most of the testimonials, even on the Pace Morby page, were, yeah, I got in the class and I can't wait. It's going to be great. That's a testimonial. That's an embarrassment. I would never have anything like that on my website. You go to my website, you're going to see people talking about making hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. So I'm going to take you Oh, shit, now I see it. All right, boy, that's painful. Guys, I'm going to start over. Well, anyways, talking about fake gurus, and I realize the audio's muted. This sucks. As I'm getting older, my eyes are going to shit. Now I know I got it. Oh, well. So I was talking about all those properties you saw me point to. Those are properties I own. That was my daughter. That was my grandson. Fill you in on that. And I was explaining how I have a thing called real estate barbells. And that was one of them. In other words, you buy up a cluster here, buy up a cluster here, and then you buy up the bar. I call it the bar in between. And that's kind of what we're driving right now. Although this is kind of like a three-headed barbell, what I'm about to show you. But there, in fact, I also, behind us, I've got, multi-million-dollar office building, industrial building, multi-million-dollar retail center, also further back that way. I'm not going to take you to that right now. And then ahead of us, I got a bunch of stuff too. I could take you to a food park. I could take you to multiple buildings. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to head to the office and I'll go live again. But because this is really an important subject. And some of you guys can ask, fake gurus, they hate questions. So next time you go to a fake guru webinar or something doesn't smell right, I had a guy I just talked to on the phone. He goes, man, I'm glad I talked to you. He goes, just these guys, they make everything sound so easy and it doesn't feel right. Listen, the most sinister thing in the world, it's totally sinister. They make you feel like you can make money with nothing. They encourage you to go borrow money from your friends or family, run up your credit card, like no matter what, this information is so worth it. I won't even take a Pace Morby student because most of them are too dumb, to be honest. They're just too damn dumb. And I hate to say it, I'm sorry, but the Pace Morby students, and I had a guy that joined Pace Morby, quit Pace Morby, came into mine, and he said, Tom, it is an absolute cult. He said, as soon as you get in, after you pay your money, and they you can get your money back the first 3 days when you get in a course like that, by the way. You have the right of getting your money back within, on average, 48 to 72 hours. So keep that in mind if you're somebody like that right now. You can get your money back. And here's the deal. The salespeople in general will say anything. When you're talking to a salesman, he's getting a commission off you. And you'd be surprised. There's people out that have something that's 11,000, or you can talk them down to 7,000 or 4,000. I mean, at any price, it's going to be garbage in general. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they have a salesman that gets a commission, and then that way they don't have to lie. The fake guru doesn't have to lie to you. The commission salesman is going to lie to you. I don't have any salesmen. Everything comes straight from me, and you don't even have to ask questions. I'm going to make you ask questions. I'm going to demonstrate to you and show you the assets that made me wealthy. But these are the things that you should be asking. Believe me, when I have so many people in my class that have regrets, they go, Tom, I learned more in the first 3 hours of your mentorship than I did in 6 months of this fake guru. And then they're upset because they wasted time, they wasted money, they wasted energy. It's such a horrible, sinister thing to exaggerate your expertise and then let people down, and I won't do it. I can tell you, I've been doing this 45 years. I know how to make money. My students are making money. I have many students that are millionaires, multimillionaires now, and I've only been teaching for 5 years. And it takes a long time. It really does take decades. It takes decades to have my experience. I mean, I've made millions on land. I've made millions on large acreage, small lots. I've made millions on multiple types of properties, and I've had some tough times too. Made some mistakes. I've lost some money here and there, not that much overall. But what I would tell you is, it's those experiences you can avoid. You can avoid those traps. You can avoid pissing your money away on a fake guru. You can avoid buying something stupid that you shouldn't buy. You can't believe how many people get in my class, and as soon as they get in, they realize they screwed up with what they just bought, or they're like so thankful because they realize after I scrutinize whatever they're buying, they go, oh yeah, I'm not buying that. And then they're thankful because they didn't make a mistake that might have tied their money up and put them in debt for many, many years. So that's what can happen. And that's the worst thing. Like worse than paying a fake guru 10 grand for their stupid course and their lack of experience and knowledge is taking the advice from somebody that lacks experience and knowledge. That's even worse, because now you might tie yourself into something where you got a mortgage, maybe you're upside down on the mortgage, and now you're stuck. And then talk about bitter. And believe me, I have people in the class like this that were taken by a fake guru, that took advice from somebody that didn't know what they're doing. I went through Pace Morby's success page one time, and you had this, nice lady, looked like a nice lady, nice mom, and she's talking about it. She doesn't really know anything, but she likes Pace, and it's fun, and it's neat, and she likes the community, right? And she said, I'm helping people. So you're in a community to make money in real estate. She just told you that she doesn't know what she's doing, and somehow she's helping people in a real estate community. How so? You know what I mean? How are you helping people if you don't know what you're doing? That's one of the observations a student made with me. In fact, Trevor, he's a pilot, was in the military, great guy. Appreciate your service, Tyler. He said, Tom, one thing I noticed is you do all the talking. And he goes, that was different. He goes, when I got in your class, you do like 99% of all the talking. And he goes, and I realized, of course you do. You know more than everybody. You've been around more than everybody. And so when you go into a go-given, whatever, lovey-dovey community where everybody's helping each other, guess what? You're getting a lot of help from people that don't know what they're doing. And, listen, the fact is, if you're one of these people so gullible that you didn't question, like if it didn't smell right. That's why I love it when somebody says, yeah, something didn't smell right. When, and I found you, I'm glad I found you, but something didn't smell right. And they'll name a bunch of different fake gurus. And I'm like, I'm so thankful. I'm so, that's great. I go, yeah, it's because they didn't demonstrate this, right? They didn't demonstrate this. And basically they didn't demonstrate any of the things that I'm talking to you about. Experience, student success, personal success, very vague, where I'm very specific. In fact, where I'm driving through right now, right? Let's take a look. Okay, I bought that house for $200,000, sold it for $560. Let's go up here. And this house I bought for $129,000, and I think I sold it for $629, but maybe I sold it for $595. I can't remember. There's one down there I bought for. I'm not going to take you to it, but it's next door to that. Actually, it's next door to that. It's that third house down, fourth house down. This house, still own this house. And now check this out. This is interesting. So look at this street. From this corner here to this corner here. I own both sides of the street, both corners. I own the house that was there. I've owned 5 of these 6 houses that you see here. I just bought that house for $550,000. But that's the most expensive home that I bought on the street. And that one I bought recently. And like I tell you, I always buy under market relative to what the market is. It doesn't matter that I bought the house across the street for $129. I bought the house next door to it for $149, and the one next door to that for $220. Because every time I bought them under market. And that one for $550, we're $750 when I bought it for $550. In fact, that's one of my other daughters is going to be moving into. So, look, I never lie to you, I never mislead you. I'm sorry you put up with so many minutes of no audio, and I will fix that. And I'm going to park here in a minute. So if anybody's got a question, you should have questions. Fake gurus are absolutely going to, can absolutely undermine and destroy your life. If you go in thinking they know more than they do, and trust that, you're getting great information, you shouldn't be trusting. You can trust but verify. But don't part with your money until you are convinced that they know what they're doing, until you are absolutely proven that this person knows what they're doing, that they have a great history. Otherwise, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot before you get started. And, imagine that, shooting yourself in the foot before you're going to run a marathon or run a race. It's a terrible idea. So anyways, I will, I'll get started on something else here pretty soon. I appreciate you telling me there's no audio, whoever that was. and I will keep an eye out for that. I didn't even know I had a damn mute button on here. But look, I'm opening up the mentorship. I'm signing new people right now. In fact, I got people signing up today, and be a part of it. Be a part of it. There is no, I don't know of any community. I tell you right now, Ben Mullen knows what he's doing. Manny Koshman, he quit mentoring. He told me he quit mentoring not long ago because there's so much slime in this business. And he's got young kids too. I don't have young kids. My kids are all grown now. So, but I really, other than Manny, Koshman, and Ben, are really the only guys that I know that are really successful, right? Really successful. I mean, Mike Zuber, I think's done okay, and I like Mike. Mike's a bit more of an article reader, and he's not as in touch like the properties the way I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Mike, we'll talk about it. If you ever want to come on, we'll do a video together. Really like Mike a lot, by the way. But I'm telling you, you're not going to find anybody. I've been doing this for 45 years. I don't know anybody that has this much experience and that has the degree of success, but most importantly, that has the student success. I have student success that nobody compares to. So anyways, thanks for watching. We'll come back and I'll do something live out of the studio soon. Thanks.